What's up guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to play rhythm guitar parts of a song called Death's Door by Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. And this was kindly requested and supported by Marcus, so big thanks goes out to him for the support. Like I said, this is going to be the lesson on the rhythm guitar parts only, the lesson on the leads, including the two solos, the outro, the two harmony part sections, which are in the song, are going to be on a separate video, and that's going to be available at GuitarForce.com or on my Patreon page. And also the tops and the backing track, which I made myself, are also going to be available at GuitarForce.com or on my Patreon page. All of the links are going to be in the description box down below. And also I will post the sort of playthrough cover of the entire song onto my other channel, and if YouTube allows that, you will find the link in the description box down as well. Alright, so for the sound I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig as usual. I'm going to show you the picture of the presets, of the preset that I was using for this song. And we're going to be in 1.5 steps down on tuning on all the strings, just like Black Sabbath, so in C sharp. So while you are checking out the picture of the preset, I'm going to play you my low E string, which is C sharp, so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, so we're going to break up the song into two parts. We're going to have the rhythm guitar part in this video, and on separate video I'll do the lead guitars. So we're going to break up the rhythm guitar part into sections. So we're going to start off with the intro. First I'm going to play it through, then we're going to break it down. So guitar number 1 goes like this. Alright, so this riff goes like this. We have two parts. Starts off with the open string, with the low E string open. Then we have slides into the 7th fret on the A string. And then we go 5-7. Now keep in mind, I have to make a side note here that we are playing with the swing feel. So in other words, even though you see the 8th notes in the tops, we're still playing the first note longer, the second one shorter, so it's, you know, that kind of rhythm. So that applies to all of the notes that we are playing. So here we have this first part, then we have again repeating these notes, but then we have, so it goes 5th fret on the D string to the 4th, then we have 5th fret on the A, 7th fret on the low E, and then we're back to the beginning of the riff. So it's, so we play that for 3 times, and then we have, so it's an 8th fret on the low E string, then goes to the 3rd fret, then back to the 7th fret with the slide bend up and release, and then we go back to the beginning of the riff. So that's the ending. You can do this as single notes. You can do them as power chords, and also the location of where you play these notes also varies. Now keep in mind that there are 2 guitars going on at the same time, and some of the parts are harmonized. I'll explain that in a moment. But some of the parts are played exactly the same, so both guitars are playing exact same notes, same kind of power chords, same riff, but they play them sometimes in different places. So for example, one guitar is playing here and the other guy is playing it actually like that. So just these are the same notes, but they're played in the different places. So instead of playing on the low E, the C note, he plays it here, and then G is on the same spot, and then the B, he just plays it here. All right. So again, you can play it at different positions if you want to. Whatever's most suitable to you, you can use that. All right. So back to the song. So that's the first riff, the intro. Now we have the second guitar, which is coming in after the first round that the first guitar is played, this riff, and it's playing the same rhythmical pattern, but it's playing it's harmonized. It goes like this. So it's harmonized in thirds, minor thirds, major thirds, but we're not going to get into too technical stuff here, the theoretical. So we have low E string open, then we have on the D string slides into the 5th fret, 4th, 5th, adding some vibrato. Then again we repeat the first part, and then we have, so it's 4th fret on the G string, then on the D we have 7, 4, and 5th fret on the A string. Alright, so we play this for 3 times, and then for this part, so that's guitar number 1 is playing, the second guitar is playing these notes. So it's 7 on the A string, 4th fret on the D, and then 7th fret on the low E. Now, here and there I'm gonna show you a couple of variations, because I saw also a live performance of this song, and I was kind of studying what exactly they're playing, and in some places, in some parts, they're playing a little bit differently to the studio recording. So this one is from the live version that they played, and I saw the guy playing this part here. All right. So like I said, 7th fret on the A string, 4th fret on the D, and then 7th fret on the low E string, and then after that we have, so just kind of the ending of that section, because then we go into the verse. So after you played this part either on the first guitar or this one, the harmony, then we have the low E string open, and then again slide into the 7th fret to the 5th on the A string, and then we have the build up. So it's triplets played on the either low E string open, just a low E, or you can include the octaves, or you can include even like a power chord to add more thickness to the sound. So 2 triplets, 6 notes all together, and that's pretty much it for the intro part. Now we're gonna move on to the verse. So again, let me just play it through, and then we're gonna break it down. So it goes like this. Alright, so here again we have two guitars going on at the same time, and they play slightly different variations of the same riff. But let me explain the first guitar. So it starts off with the low E string open, either open, or you can play the the octave or the power chord. And then we have this going from the power chord, the E power chord. Then we have on the D string 7th fret, but played as the double stop. So you have these three double stops. So power chord, the 4th, and then the power chord again. Then it's played on the low E string 2 times, palm muted, of course. Then again the low E string open, and then we play again the power chord, going to this double stop, and then again we have the 9th fret on the D, 10 on the A, 7 on the D, and then 9 to 10 on the A string. Now if I play this on as single notes, we have like that. Now, like I said, there are two guitars going on, and the first guitar is essentially playing the single notes, but it's adding some of the these power chords to add more of the thicker sound. Alright, it's not necessarily that you have to play them, because actually the second guitar is playing just the single notes. I'm going to explain it in a minute, but to add more thickness to the sound, you can use the power chords here. So alright, so we play this for 3 times, and then the ending is again as in the intro, but both of the guitars are playing these. The C note, G, and then B with the slide bend and release. And then we're back to the then we're into another part, which is so here what we have, it's the open low E string, and then we have this double stop, which is the minor 3rd. So it's 7 on the A, 5 on the D string, and then we go to the major 3rd here, which is 5 on A, 4 on the D, and then back again to the first double stop. So we have, and then we play the low E string open 3 times, then we play it again like that. So all together. Now in the end here, this part, I saw it again from the live version. In the studio version, they don't play it like that. They just leave it out like that and just play with the double stops. But on the live version, they add this part, which I think sounds really cool. So after the 2 times when you play the double stops, you play the low E string open, then again, like the swing feel, and then you add 5 to 7 on the low E, 5th fret on the A, like that. And we're getting back to the first part of the riff. All right. So that's the riff that they play during the verses, guitar number 1. Now the second guitar, like I said, is playing exactly the same thing, with the exception of it's playing these as single notes, and it's also playing it in this position right here. So it's going to be like this. So as you can see, it's kind of playing in a linear way, So all of the notes are played on the A string, I mean these notes. So it's 14, 12, 14, and then you have 10 to 12, and then 9 to 10, and alternating that with the low E string. So I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to figure it out if you want to play it like that, you know. But if you're playing just on one guitar and want to make the sound, the riff sounds a little bit heavier, you can include these double stops with the power chord and the fourth and so forth. But that's the second guitar, playing it here, like I said, and also for the ending, you can play it like that. And then the last part is exactly the same. Both of the guitars are playing that. So that's the riff for the verses. And then we go into the next part, which is kind of, I would say, chorus or something like that. But it goes like this. Let me play it through, then we're going to break it down. It goes like this. Alright, so here we have, starting off with the A power chord. Now, by the way, I know that we're tuned down the whole step and a half, and it shouldn't be an A, you know, it should be an F sharp, but I'm referring to A, you know, C, B and stuff, and G and stuff like that, just because it's easier to navigate on the guitar. You know, we're playing in the places where the A chord should be the C chord, the B and the rest, but of course we're tuned down step and a half, so it's going to be a different pitch. All right, so keep that in mind. So anyway, so starting with an A power chord for the whole bar, then we go to the D for half a bar, and then B for half a bar, and then again we play the same part, or the beginning of the part that it's between the verses. So we have, now here we add another double stop. So after the low E string open, then we have the 3 double stops here, then we hit again the low E, and then we hit this minor third, which is kind of like a part of an A minor chord, but it's just played the minor third here. So it's 7 on the D and 5th on the G string, like that. And we play it for 2 times. So we have, and you can play the low E string either just once, or you can play it in a swing feel, like that, or doesn't really matter. And then again we repeat, so we played for 2 times this part, and then we repeat again the A, D, B, and by the way, again, the other guitar, the second guitar, is playing this in different positions. So for example, A is playing here, or you can play it here, then the D, B, like that. It doesn't really matter, whatever feels most comfortable to you, use that. So like I said, playing this part, again repeating the whole part again, so A, D, B, and then again this transitioning part, and the second time again they include this part with a hammer on to get into the second verse again. All right, so it's like a transitioning part, all right, going into the second verse. And basically they go back and forth. So it's intro, verse number 1, then we have the chorus, verse number 2, chorus again, and then we go into the solo. So for now, in this rhythm guitar part, I'll skip over the solo. Actually, during the solo, the rhythm guitar is playing the part that we played during the verses, so exactly the same. All right, and with the same ending. Okay, so exactly the same. We're gonna go right into the outro now, and just explain real quick what the rhythm guitar is doing. So in the outro, so just keep in mind that after the solo, the first solo, we have another part which is kind of melody part, played on two guitars with the harmonization, but I'll explain that in the lead guitar part. Then we go back to playing the verse, number 3, then the chorus, number 3, then we have the outro starting out, and the rhythm guitar is playing just that. Alright, so it's between 9th and 10th fret on the A string. I'm not going to be playing the whole thing because it's just these two notes, and basically we're playing it for 2 bars, and in the end of the second bar we have, instead of the 10th fret, we have the 7th here. So it's kind of reintroduces the riff again. So basically you're playing these for 2 bars, and then in the end of the second bar you start, you use the 7th fret, and then again going into the next 2 bars. And we play these, the rhythm guitar is playing it for 4 times altogether. Alright? And then we have the outro solo, and the outro solo, the rhythm guitar is playing this part which is basically going between the C and the E keys here, kind of power chords, but it's playing it in a single notes, and it's playing it in the swing feel, and also adding some of the passing notes. So what I'm going to do, you can see all of the notes in the tabs. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play through that section slowly, so you can hear what's going on, and you will see all of the notes in the tabs. So it's going to go something like this. And that's pretty much it for the rhythm guitar. Alright guys, so that was it for this part. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to continue learning the entire song, the 2 solos, the outro, the harmony parts, check out the link in the description box down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.